Mafia. We are back for another episode of It's Nothing Personal, Just Buffalo. I am your host, JTM. Got my co-host in the building with me, former NFL running back James Mallory. Mal, we got a little bit to talk about tonight. I think that we have a few conversations that we did not look forward to talking about going into the third and final preseason game this weekend, but nonetheless, it ain't all perfect, okay?
Yeah.
It ain't all perfect right now, and we have questions at our middle linebacker spot. We have questions at our right tackle spot, and we still have a question at our cornerback number 2. Now, that's something that was a hot topic at the beginning of the preseason and in camp that's kind of drifted to the back because the other two positions we talking about seem to be problematic. It ain't just competition.
Yeah.
So we got to talk about that tonight. If you guys are tuning in, make sure that you like, subscribe, share. This is sponsored and brought to you by Checkers. But nonetheless, let's just hop right into this, man. Okay. Now, I know you were at your game during the Bills preseason game on Saturday versus the Colts. No, was it the Colts? Not the Colts. I'm sorry. Against the Steelers. And, man, I will say this, and I say this as lightly and as nice as possible. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody lose a job faster than Tyrell Dodson is losing this middle linebacker job when the guy right behind him has not played one snap in the NFL preseason, and Terrell Bernard. I'm not over-exaggerating. I'm not just downing the man. He has looked this bad in NFL preseason, something that I would not expect from a veteran who's been here and started multiple games when our past linebacker, Tremaine Edmonds, was out. Mal, what are we doing right now?
All right. So here's my thing. We talk about the man in the middle, right? That middle linebacker, that quarterback of the defense. We're going to go back a little bit. I kind of like the Bills' approach, right? I don't mind it. Here's why. If we did, well, obviously we lost Edmonds. If we kind of look back at it, JT, we picked. Am I cutting out again?
Yeah, you got.
I'm good?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
You're good. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Yep. So my thing is, we picked Edmonds, we picked Milano over Edmonds. That's how I'm kind of looking at it. Like, we paid Milano, not Edmonds, right? Is Milano the better player out of those two? I mean, that's up for debate, right? Some will say yes, some will say no. With that, also, I'm looking at the Bills' approach with this. You have a number in your head, right? Whatever that number was in their head, or whatever that hard line number was for what they wanted to pay Edmonds, they weren't going to go over that, and they didn't want to hurt themselves in the future. I am on board with that. I 100% agree with it. I love you drawing that line in the sand and you not going over it to potentially hurt the team in the future, right? How you feel about that, JT, in regards to, I know, well, we'll get to this. I'll finish my point in what I'm saying, but I just wanted to know how you feel about that as well. So when they did that, they gave guys in-house the opportunity to win the job who've been here, paid their dues, and said, you know what, okay, let's see what you got. Right now, they're not living up to the expectations that, us Bills fans would have liked, right? We had bigger hopes for Dodson. Bernard's been hurt, so it's hard to say what he's doing. But the expectations was through the roof in regards to what we expected from Dodson, stepping in from being a backup type of player to being a full-time guy. I love the fact that they gave these guys the opportunity to go take the job. And right now, I mean, we can't say what Bernard's doing. I mean, you got to be available. So none of them have taken that opportunity and ran with it.
Right.
I think that's going to go a long way with loyalty and how people's going to look at our organization. When you talk about free agents, you talk about people being a part of the Buffalo Bills. That's loyalty. Gave them the opportunity. Now you go outside the organization. I don't think you can. I don't think it's a problem. Me personally, I think right now, obviously, I think Dodson lost the job. With that being said, I'm a boomer bust guy with him. Is either he was going to win the job or they're going to cut him. Right now, I think he's going to get cut. I don't think it's no in between with Dotson. He's either going to make this roster as a starter or he's not going to be on the roster. I don't think it's no in between.
And why do you say that? Why do you think that they cut him?
Why do I think they're going to cut him?
Yeah.
Because it gets to the point where uh, you move on. You can go younger, right?
Okay.
We know what he's going to bring to us. And with that, I mean, we could find that. Why can't what he give us as a backup Bernard can't give us? Right? What is he going to give us that's going to separate him from the rest? Is really nothing, right? Where we can replace that easy. You can go back and get Andre Smith to do that. Would he give us a special teams? To be real, right? So I don't think it's anything unique that he would bring us that, we should really keep him on the roster for.
All right. Listen, at this point, outside of running down the field and covering a kick or covering a punt, I couldn't tell you what the hell Tyrell Dodson could give us. Like I said, I don't know if I've ever seen somebody play this poorly in the preseason when the job was all but handed to him when Bernard went down with the hamstring injury. All he had to do was go out there and just look average at best. I don't know how many people really, really in-depthly watched this game, but I watched a run play. And if you understand the goals in football, the 5, the 1, the 3, the 2, the 4, the 6, okay? Tyrell Dodson, the Steelers ran, I don't know if it was an off, it seems like an off tackle, okay? And Dodson jumped between the left guard and left tackle to shoot the gap. And the play was between the right guard and right tackle. And it wasn't a blitz. There was no blitz. That's just the gap he shot. And I said, well, I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt, okay? Just shot the wrong gap. Now we complained about Tremaine Edmonds shooting the wrong gap. But Tremaine Edmonds never shot a gap 3 gaps over.
Yeah.
Okay? He did the same thing the very next play. The very next play, did the same thing. Shot the gap. But this time he ran the play down from behind. That's like high school little league play. Okay? You're losing your speed to chase something down from behind. In a real game, that's going to allow an 80-yard or 70-yard touchdown run. Okay? At this point in time, I went into this season saying, you know what? Neither one of these guys will be Tremaine Edmonds this year. But we won't need it because in the day, we have this great pass rush up front. We got Von Miller going to be healthy. We got everybody in our back end good. Poyer, Hyde, Trey White, everybody healthy. All we got to do is put a Band-Aid in the middle linebacker position and we'll be okay. If we dare throw Tyrell Dodson at middle linebacker this season, he may be one player that can tank this entire defense.
You think it's that bad, JT?
This is how bad he's playing in this. And you guys know me, I don't bash players. But this is how bad he's playing. Okay? Here's his numbers from the preseason, okay? He has 2 tackles, 2 solo tackles, 2 assisted tackles, 1 stop. He has 2 missed tackles. He's allowing a passer rating of 118.8 when in coverage. Okay? It got so bad in that game versus the Steelers. Tyrell Dodson was the starter. He was the starter. Steelers bust off the 63-yard touchdown run. They yanked Tyrell Dodson out. Mind you, once again, remind you, this is a preseason game where these things are kind of going to happen, right? They yanked him out the game, put A.J. Klein in with the first team. Tyrell Dodson came back and ended the second quarter with the second team. That ain't good. That ain't good at all.
Yeah.
So, at this point, I think Sean McDermott and company will put Terrell Bernard out there on that field with one freaking leg. Then they'll put Tyrell Dodson out there with two healthy ones.
I'm very. How far is he from coming back? Have we heard word?
I have not heard anything. He was working off to the side last week, but I can tell you what, if they can get a little cortisone from Mexico or South America and shoot that hamstring up, hey, with some growth hormone to get that thing healed, to get Tyrell Dodson out the middle of that defense, I'm sure they will call Dr. Zulu in as best they could. And as fast as they could. That's how bad this man has played. So now, we have to go to the question of, what if Terrell Bernard is not healthy? What if it's a hamstring? Those are tricky. What if he ain't back by week 1 now? Mind you, we flying with him blind. We ain't seen one snap during the preseason. Do you put the rookie Dorian Williams in there? Well, let me look at Dorian Williams' stats. Okay? 6 tackles in the first game versus the Colts. No missed tackles. Second game versus the Steelers. 4 total tackles. No missed tackles. Even got to hit him the quarterback. Do you run with the rookie?
Have we played him in the middle much? We haven't played him in the middle much.
A little bit last game. They played him in the middle. When he first came in the game with the second unit, he was not at middle though. He was still on the wheel spot.
Okay.
So I don't even know what we do at this point. And there ain't many veterans out there. You know.
What's the top? Give me the top 2 veterans out there if you know.
Probably Rashawn Evans. Rashawn Evans. I'm trying to think who the other one was.
He was in Tennessee, right?
Yeah, in Atlanta. He was in Atlanta last year. So, I mean, that's on top of my head. It's going to have to be a trade. If you're going to bring a veteran here, it's going to have to be a trade. The only 2 names that strike me as possibly being available immediately would be Jordan Hicks from the Vikings, because Ivan Pace Jr., the undrafted free agent, may beat him out, and Christian Kirksey from the Texans, who's kind of getting buried in the depth chart over there in Houston. And obviously this is a player that the Bills were interested in a couple years ago. This is bad, dude. This is bad. And you know what? I don't care. I'm going to say it. For all the people who said Tremaine Edmonds wasn't good, let Tremaine Edmonds walk, he wasn't great. Well, yeah. Well, here we go. This is where we're at right now. We have to face Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets in a big Monday night game, and Aaron Rodgers' first game in the Big Apple. And we don't know who the hell we're throwing at middle linebacker. The incumbent starter right now may not even be on this roster come week 1. And the guy behind him may not even be healthy. And then we got a rookie who we didn't play at middle linebacker damn near all camp. Sometimes you better be careful what you ask for. And I understand what you're saying, to draw the line in the sand. They should have drawn that line a couple notches higher. A couple mil higher. Well,
yeah, I you know me, I wanted to keep Edmonds. I was a big Edmonds fan. But I get it.
Yeah, I get it. I get it too. We pay the number we had drawn the sand for him, we get Ed Oliver. And the other money we gave to Dawson Knox and Matt Milano. I get it. We allocated money elsewhere. Well, Houston, we have a problem. And let me and newsflash to you. And this aggressive this non-Leslie Frazier bend don't break defense that no one ever run to run again. Now we're going to a more aggressive defense. And you know what you need in that aggressive defense? Decent middle linebacker play.
A middle linebacker that want to go hunt.
Yeah. Tyrell Dodson at this point in time can't even find the forest to go hunt. He can't. He can't. He can't. Like, I mean, listen. Once again, I don't bash players. I'm totally against it. But this man has played this bad. He looks like a rookie. I don't know. I mean, what do you think they should do at this position? Right now. Like I said, we got 2 weeks to figure. We got 2 weeks and like 3 days to figure this thing out.
I mean, you got to search the trade market. If you feel the position is that bad, you got to look at the trade market. You got to see who you can get, and roll with that. And then it's the thing. Even if you do trade with somebody, how up to speed will they be by game one?
Yeah. I tell you what, they'll be more up to speed than Tyrell Dodson is right now. He about 5 years in.
Well, AJ Klein might be an option. I mean, I don't know.
No, we can't do that either. Jesus. Yeah, oh my God, this is getting worse by the hour. And you know
Yeah.
what? One thing I would say, when AJ came in the game the other day, right? You could tell that the defense was more settled in. The only problem was AJ couldn't run. He knew where the play was going.
Yeah.
He just couldn't get there no more. But he could set everybody else up. Doug asked a good question. Can Rat play linebacker? And I think in that scenario, you would have to shift Matt Milano over the middle, then you'd be going big safety.
If we move him to middle linebacker, JT, and not to cut you off, that's just that's yikes. I mean, not that he can't do it. I don't know, man.
It shows that you effed up real bad.
Yeah.
Because you're taking him out of his all-pro position.
Can't do that.
Dame Wright asked, can the Bills trade for Kirk? So, yeah, I mean, that Dame, I don't know if you were watching earlier, but that's definitely one of the names that I brought up that would be on the trade market. I think you probably get Kirksey for a 7th-round pick, maybe 6th at most. But, I mean...
Bring Luke Kuechly out of retirement at this point.
At this point, hell, we might well bring Sam Coward.
Ooh.
And Sam Coward is 50 years old. And I bet he could do a better job than Tyrell Dodson has been doing this preseason. And we watched Sam Coward break his leg on the field about 20 years ago.
Well, all in all, let's see what happens. Let's let it play out.
Oh, we ain't got a choice. We ain't got a choice. We have a choice. I don't know. I think at this point in time, I think you're right. I think Dodson is probably going to, if Bernard is healthy enough, but Dodson's probably going to get cut. If they don't go trade for somebody, Bernard is probably going to be your starter week one. If his hamstring will probably be ready by then. But he's going to be your starter, and Dorian Williams is going to be your backup. But this is not somewhere I want to be with this position. And I guess for me, the big issue is you had so many middle linebackers, and I get what you're saying. Okay, I do get what you're saying about the loyalty, but this organization has shown that they're loyal to their players. I don't think we have to go any further proving that to this league. You know, we've been damn near too loyal to a lot of guys. Okay, but there were so many middle linebackers available in this offseason. I think I was telling you on the phone today. I don't think we're ever going to see a market where that many were available again. Levante David, Eric Kendricks, David Long, Al Jazir, I forgot his last name, the guy from the 49ers. You had Tremaine Edmonds on the market if you wanted to bring him back. You had, what's the other guy that signed with the from the Eagles that signed with the Bears? He's the other linebacker.
Trying to think who you're talking about.
TJ Edwards. He was no one available. Dame Wright brings up Deion Jones. Well, he just got signed to Carolina a couple weeks ago. Deion Jones was available. And I mean, and there's more.
Don't forget there's going to be some surprise cuts next week.
Well, I hope so. Because God knows, I mean, we got to do something. So, because at this point in time, I don't know. I don't know. This is pretty bad. And mind you, we're not going to have Von Miller. I don't think we're going to have Von Miller for the first 4 weeks. I think he's going to be on that PUP list for the first 4, and then we'll get him back. I don't know, but I guess we need to move on. We spent enough time on the middle linebacker spot. This ain't conducive. So hopefully
We gonna see.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, I'm hoping they give Dorian Williams to start at middle linebacker against the first team this last preseason game, and if he shows any sign of readiness, throw him in there.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you there.
So that brings us to the second topic of concern. A lot of Bills fans were concerned with the play of Spencer Brown. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster ride with Spencer since he got here in Buffalo. Obviously, he ended up playing, I think, a lot faster than most of us thought he was going to play. I think it was due to injury, right? Is that how he got in the game? Was it due to injury? It was injury when he got in there right tackle.
What was that, JT?
Spencer Brown. He got in a couple of years ago as rookie year because of injury, correct?
Yeah.
And they kept the job. So, I already played a little bit earlier. We know he's always going to be a raw prospect. A lot of his last year, he battled a back injury. Fine. Give him a pass. This offseason, first offseason healthy, train, actually work out. And I'm going to say it. Listen, it hasn't been pretty so far. The first game of the season versus the Colts, he played 6 snaps. That was fine. He was fine those 6 snaps. But in the extended period versus Pittsburgh, it did not look good. It looks like he had some of the same problems he had in the past few years. Dealing with the speed rushers going around underneath him on the edge, and dealing with the bull rush of people getting under his pads underneath him and pushing him back. I saw one play where they pulled him from the right side. I believe it was a handoff to Latavius Murray. It was a left hand off base run, and they pulled him all the way from right tackle. And when he got to the gap to meet Quan Alexander met him and blew him the hell up. And when I say blew up, I mean like literally like woo back. It was bad. It was bad. It was really, really bad. It was ugly. Okay? So let me ask you this question. What is your level of concern with Spencer Brown at right tackle?
On a scale from 1 to 10?
Yeah, except 1 to 10. That's fine.
A 4.
Okay.
I'm not concerned with it. I mean, we know if he was a left tackle, the blind side, I think it's a little different, right? The thing what I like about it is his mean streak. He plays very hard. Yeah, he has a problem with the speed rushers getting under. He's 6'8", right? He does have an issue with that. We know it. Sorry about that. Practice, work, long day. But hey, the grind life, love it. But I like what he brings to the table. I really do. I am a fan. I'm not saying he's an all-pro. I think he's an average starter in the NFL, and you can win with guys like that. I don't think he's below average. I think he's an average starter in the NFL. Does he have some issues and things we would like? Yes. We don't like? Yes, that's true. So my level of concern is 4. But JT, man, you know how we doing. We talk throughout the day, man. You was talking that talk, man. JT talking that talk. You mentioned Jason Peters to me, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
if we had a chance to get him at right tackle, JT, dude,
I take it. My level
quick.
of concern, if I do 1 to 10 more for Spencer Brown, my level of concern is probably a 7. And the reason it's a 7 is not just Spencer Brown.
Yeah,
it's not just Spencer. It's the fact that you have a rookie playing next to him. Because I do think Osiris Torrance is going to win that right guard job. The other concern is I don't know if Dion Dawkins is going to play at the level he played at 2 years ago.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
And I mean, Dion has some miles on him now. Okay, he has some miles on him, and he wasn't necessarily a natural left tackle either. We gotta keep that in mind. So my concern is is if Dawkins is not playing at the level he played at 2 years ago, then you're going to have issues on possibly both sides of the tackles positions. That's why my level of concern is higher. I understand that Spencer has a mean streak, but I'm starting to feel like he's a one-trick pony.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's a big guy, he's strong. But listen, you can't get beat by speed rushers and also get beat by bull rushers. And one of the two things you got to be able to stop.
Yeah.
And at this point, I don't think you stop either. And when you look at our division, just the 6 games we're going to play against Miami, there's 2 rushers coming at you. It's Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips. When you play the Jets, they got a plethora of rushers coming at you all game. The Patriots, you know you're going to have Judon and Uche and a couple of guys, they coming at you. He's going to have to be able to step up and play at like I said, at least an average level for us to win these games. If not, something happens to Josh, this season's over. You might well pack it up. There ain't no Frank Wright, the right one baby. It ain't happening. The season's over. It's done. This is why it's such a concern to me. Those are the factors I'm factoring in here. So let me ask you this. Someone asked, could Ryan Bates play right tackle? Now, Ryan Bates can technically play all 5 positions on the offensive line.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I put him at tackle. The reasons he did not play tackle in the NFL too much was because of his arm length.
Yep. That's the problem. And then when we go to talk Ryan Bates, I think you keep him as that swing guy for if/when Morris miss a couple games, he can come fill right in. And I'll let you talk more about your thought because I'm starting to warm up to that. But man, I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm really, really, really liking that Jason Peters thing you said. If we could put him at right tackle, Spencer Brown could be a backup. Let's not hope Deion Dawkins get hurt. If Deion Dawkins got to miss time, you can slide Jason Peters over to the left tackle. You can put Spencer Brown at the right tackle. I ain't gonna lie. Then with Torrance next to him, dude, that could be something special, man. That could be something really good for a year.
Right. Like I said, nothing against Spencer Brown, but if you give me a chance to put Jason Peters on the line, even at 41 years old, I'm gonna do so. Jason Peters, this is a guy just last year with Dallas. I mean, he played 235 snaps last year, allowed 1 sack. Now, mind you, and actually, to be honest with you, last year he played 139 of those snaps at left tackle, 33 of the snaps at right tackle, and 55 snaps at left guard. That gives you a lot of versatility. And my guy Doug puts the guy Garage had looked promising. Also played with Osiris. See,
that's your guy.
That's my
that's
guy.
your guy.
That's the guy I've been watching literally all preseason. And I think I called you after the first game of the Colts. And I said, yo, who's number 75? And actually, I talked to Pat Freeman, too, the Bills reporter Pat Freeman. And I called Pat, and I'm like, Pat, did you see what I saw? Number 75 held his own. And he was like, yeah. He said, man, brother, I had to pick up the sheet and see who is this guy.
Yep.
So that's another guy. You know, obviously we had Brandon Shell retire on us the other day. So that's going to be a little bit difficult. I mean, we had a guy who was a possible starter that we thought was going to be competition. And, you know, as you see more and more players retire, we lost one that day. So nothing we can really do about that. I'm actually trying to look up Richard Garage's stats from the games this preseason so far and see if I can look those up. But Jason Peters is definitely a guy that I'd be interested in if the Bills get their hands on him.
Yeah.
Do you think any possible trades? Obviously, Tommy Doyle's down too now, unfortunately. Hopefully, best wishes to him.
Trades on the offensive line?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Now, Garage, he only got 7 snaps last game. So, you know, he allowed 1 hurry. And in the first game
Well,
was a
you gotta be
close
careful
game.
with those because they won't display him too much because he might get pulled
Picked
when
up.
cut down there if you want to sneak him on the practice squad.
Yeah. I was thinking the other day when I didn't see him in there with the second unit, I said maybe they're trying to hold on to him and stash him a little bit.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's another guy. I agree with Doug on that one. I like I said, that's the guy I'm watching very, very closely because you never know what you're gonna get. Like I said, Jason Peters was an undrafted free agent, and he's gone on to have a hell of a career and a Hall of Fame career. You know, not
Yeah.
saying that's where Richard Gray is gonna be, but you like I said, you never know what you're gonna get, especially at offensive lineman. David Obstein asked, "Would you be willing to trade a 6 or 7 wide receiver or Boogie for a right tackle or swing upgrade?"
No.
So this is no Boogie or no
I,
to
I don't
Boogie,
think
no
I
to
don't think
this.
we're that bad at right tackle
Mm,
to be able to trade a Boogie Basham, he's gonna give us some meaningful snaps,
ah,
and then a receiver. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think we're that bad at the right tackle to have to do something like that.
I mean, is there any receiver that we could trade anyway? I mean, I don't know if we have one on this roster. I mean, I think if we were going to do that, it'd probably be a late round draft pick, if anything.
Yeah.
But I will say this, since we're on the topic of Boogie Basham, do you think Boogie Basham has made this team
Yes.
locked in?
I think he's an interesting trade piece, but I think he's made the roster. Yes.
I I'm proud of the way Boogie Basham has played this preseason. I think he's looked explosive. It looks like a guy who got it now. He gets it.
Yeah.
He's comfortable. He said the other day, he's confident and he's comfortable. So this is a guy that I'm rooting for. I kind of feel like the Bills kind of tweaked his development up a little bit there with kind of how they handle his first 2 seasons. But either way, it's a guy who's looking ready. I think he offers you something a little different than AJ Epinesa can offer you. So I prefer him over Epinesa if I had to take the two. Just not to get too far off topic.
Yeah.
Dame Wright says, "Do you think Shakir is in danger of not making his team?" No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's a guy that you can put at punt return. I mean, it's not natural as some of the other guys you like, but I think this is a guy. He's gonna get some valuable snaps this year. He's gonna make some valuable plays.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think Shakir's any danger. I think your receiving core for the team is all. I think it's pretty much set.
Yeah. I think it's set.
Diggs, Davis, Hardy, Shakir, Sherfield, and I say Isabella.
And Shorter gonna make it too.
You think Shorter gonna make it? Or you don't think they're gonna stash? You don't think they're gonna stash him?
Nah, he won't make it. They gonna keep him. The Isaiah Hodges thing scarred him. They're not gonna let him go.
Now, that's interesting. That is interesting. So moving on, third topic of the night. Who is cornerback number 2 right now? Do you think it's Elam? Do you think it's Jackson? Do you think it's Benford?
Now we talk about the trade piece. I think Dane Jackson could be a very interesting trade
Yeah,
piece.
I think he's a starting cornerback in this league, and I think you have some value now. To answer the guy's last question about right tackle or something like that, Dane Jackson could be a guy that you could swap out someone for somebody if you need to be.
Yeah, because it comes to a point in time you're going to have to let Elam and Benford play. I think those two are going to be very, very good starters in the NFL. Benford, if he went to a bigger school, you're talking about a high first round pick. If he went to a bigger school, he went to Villanova. He would have been a high first round pick if he went to a big school. That dude can play. Elam, I like him. He could play. Um, I would. I think you could trade Dane Jackson to get some stuff for him. I mean, you never got too many corners, though, JT. You
Not in
never
this
got too
league.
many
Not in this as
corners.
Baltimore right now.
Yep. So I think our number 2 corner, if he's on the roster, first game 1 will be Dane Jackson.
Okay.
He hasn't done anything to lose the job.
All right. So I got a little bit different take on this. Okay. I'm gonna go away from what the McDermott Brandon Bean regime has done since they got in Buffalo, and as I tend to feel, have chosen to go the comfortable route. The comfortable route would be going with Dane Jackson.
Mhm.
Okay, he's solid. You know what you're gonna get. He's a veteran. He's battle tested. All those reasons you couldn't argue with. And actually, I think he's a hell of a football player. I think people really went on him after he couldn't check Justin Jefferson last year, which nobody in the NFL, I think outside of maybe it was Darius Slay, kind of slowed Justin Jefferson down. He's probably the best receiver in the NFL, if not top 3. But either way, besides all that, I'm starting Kyer Elam. I'm starting Kyer Elam. And I'm starting Kyer Elam for 3 reasons. A, he's first round pick from last year. At some point, we have to when we have to put the guys that we draft high, they got to start playing. They got to start playing. You know, we redshirted Epinesa a year. We redshirted Boogie Basham a year. And honestly, I think that personally, it slowed their development down and slowed their growth. Okay, none of those safeties behind Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer developed.
Yeah.
Because they didn't play.
Yep.
And you're having the same situation with Osiris Torrance right now. Some people saying, well, if you could sit him. No. He needs to play. There's no better reps than these reps you're going to get this rookie season. If you get your ass beat sometime, then that's okay. You learn from it. And a cornerback position is a position that you need to take your lumps in.
Yeah.
The third reason I'm going to play Kyer Elam. I love Benford. I love Dane Jackson. But at the end of the day, he offers you something that those other 2 guys do not offer. And that's elite athleticism. We've been trying to get a guy that has elite athleticism across the field from Trey White since EJ Gaines was over there.
Yeah.
Okay? The knock on Levi Wallace was Levi just wasn't athletic. He wasn't athletically inclined.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't in that top percentage of speed and vertical and all those different things. We saw flashes of Kyer Elam last year, what he could do when he's on the field if you make a mistake around him. He's going to turn that into a play. And when you have a Trey White on the other side of the field, listen, once again, love Dane Jackson, love Christian Benford, but neither one of those guys have the ball skills that Kyer Elam has.
Yeah.
I think Benford should be moved to free safety. I think that should be your Micah Hyde replacement. That's what I think they should do with him. That's what I think they should do with him. And Dane, I would, as much as I would say I would love to keep Dane Jackson. He's a great insurance policy. I don't know if you get a compository pick for him. I don't know if he fall into that category.
It depends on the price tag he signs for somewhere else.
Right. If you're guaranteed, no, you can get compository, or they know what his value is going to be on the market right now. Okay. Then you got to trade him and get something for him.
Yeah.
Because like I said, once again, I love Dane Jackson. I think he's a starting NFL cornerback. But you can't sit this first round pick on the bench and let that pick go to waste. You have to see what he has. And you can't wait till his 3rd year. He needs to play right now. So, I don't know, man. Who you think is going to be Jackson?
Yeah, I think they're gonna go that route and go Jackson. I would love for it to be Elam. I'm like, hey, put him out there, let him play. And if we can trade, I think we can get another quality player for Jackson. I think we can. I mean, that dude is a lot of starting experience. There's teams out there that would love to have a dude like that.
Absolutely. That's what I say. There's a lot of value there. If you wanted to trade Dane Jackson for a kick returner, look at the Ravens. They're having so many troubles with cornerbacks right now, and everybody's injured. You probably could get a Duvernay out of them.
The thing is this, they're not gonna help each other win.
No, they probably won't. They probably wouldn't. But I'm just giving an example. You know, there's so many teams that need cornerbacks that you probably could get a player in return. If you're talking about a right tackle, yeah. Somebody needs a cornerback. They may give you a right tackle for him. I don't know who that right tackle be, but they may give you one for him. I think that, excuse my language, I think people shit on Dane Jackson.
They do. They do.
I think they shit on him, Dane
Because
Jackson.
he's
They
not
don't appreciate.
flashy.
Right. They don't appreciate what he does. But the same people who shit on Dane Jackson were the ones that said the Bills needed EJ Gaines. It ain't much difference between those two players. I can tell you right now.
Yeah.
Play style is ain't too much. But going back to the point, I just think you have to play Kyrie Elam. Because if he's not your guy, then you got to go into the next offseason and you got to figure this out. And guess what? Or 8 games in, if he's not the guy, he ain't working, well, then you got to put Benford in. Like you say, you got to play both of them.
Yep.
Now, if Benford is your guy, then that means you have to trade Kyrie Elam in the offseason. That's what it means. So
I don't even think you have to. I think because you got them off for the cheap, you got them off for 4 seasons. I don't even think you got to jump the gun on that.
I kind of feel like I kind of feel like when it's a first round pick, it kind of forces your hand a little bit.
I don't think so.
Because
You just don't. My reasoning being because some guys develop at different paces. So if you get rid of them a year too early, you looking stupid. Where you keep him for that 4th year, just don't take that 5th year option. It doesn't work out, then he walks. Right? You got him on the roster. What is it hurting? Look at the Bills. They're loyal to their first round picks.
yeah,
Very loyal to their first round picks. He's
this
not
is
going
true.
nowhere.
This is true. Well, let me ask you this question. If you're playing this aggressive defense that we think the Sherman Durham's going to blitz more, who needs to be out there? I mean,
I'm going to say Jackson. I don't think honestly we're in a position right now. I think all 3 of those guys are starters. Period. Right.
yeah.
So I don't think we can go wrong with any of them. I really don't think so. I think we good either way. But I'm going to have to say Elam. You're going to do that? Go Elam.
And that's kind of my thinking. Like, listen, when I'm talking about the Kansas City Chiefs, when I'm talking about the Miami Dolphins, I'm talking about the Cincinnati Bengals, nothing against Dane Jackson, but I need my guy with that. I need my guy there with that 4.4 speed. I need my guy with the 4.4 speed out there on that field.
Yep.
I guess my other point with it is why hasn't anybody ever brought up the point that if you think you have 2 studs that could be 2 studs on outside corners, Kyrie Elam and Christian Benford, why haven't we brought up the point of sliding Trey White into the nickel and moving on and trading Teron Johnson?
I just don't think I don't think they view him that way as a full-time nickel.
Who, Trey?
Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna, my thing is if you're gonna be blitzing and you be playing this aggressive defense, first of all, you gotta have to defend the middle of the field. And the way these offensive coordinators scheme nowadays, they always get their top guys in the middle of the football field now. Because you can't hit anybody anymore. Can't take that. That's not danger zone anymore. Right? But if you're going to be playing man coverage, and it seems like that's the route they're going. We're playing a lot more man than we have in the past couple of years. I need my 3 best man cover corners out there. Yep. And my 3 best man cover corners out there are Trey White, Christian Benford, Kyrie Elam, and Dane Jackson at number 4. Teron Johnson, when you talk about man coverage, Teron Johnson falls number 5 on that list.
Yeah.
Now, if you're talking zone, he's one of the best nickel corners in the NFL. When you're talking zone. And when you're talking against the run, yeah. He's one of the best tackling cornerbacks against the run. But when we're talking about the teams that we're going to be playing against, that we're trying to catch, that we're trying to beat, they're not running that ball like that. They're not running that ball like that. Miami ain't running that ball around like that. The Jets not going to be doing it, even though they got Dalvin Cook, and we're going to talk about that too. They're not going to be doing that. The Bengals, we know the Bengals ain't, the Bengals will run when they need to. Other than that, they letting Joe Shiesty throw that thing. And when I look at Teron Johnson, listen, nothing against him, hard-nosed player, bring his lunch pail, go to work. Sorry, I see his name tag on the back, nameplate on the back of his jersey way too much in man coverage.
Yeah.
I'm being real. Listen,
But the thing,
I'm,
you got to think about it like this: if you're going to attack more, it won't be as much time. If you're anticipating the D line being more aggressive, and you anticipating blitzing more, he shouldn't be in coverage as long. Therefore, that should help him.
I've seen Teron Johnson on multiple occasions get beat in 2 seconds. Just last season, the Titans beat him in 2 seconds, and the Bengals beat him in 2 seconds. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. If we're gonna force the quarterback to throw these ball, I want my 3 best cover corners out there. Mind you, Teron Johnson that's a nice price tag.
Yeah.
That is a very nice price tag. I think it's like $7 million that we pay for him. Once again, I'm not bashing him. I'm just thinking schematics. If you think Elam and Benford are both studs or can be both studs, and I agree with you, I think they both can be, then we need to at some point consider moving Trey White to the nickel and letting him cover whoever that is in the slot and lock that up. And mind you, remember people, that is Trey White's natural position. LSU, he was not a boundary. He was a nickel. I don't know, man. It's interesting. It's like it's a good. Out of all the conversations we had tonight, this is probably the best problem that
Absolutely.
we have too
Absolutely.
many good cornerbacks and somebody can't play. It ain't like that damn middle linebacker spot.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody get me London Fletcher's number. He got a few tackles left for him at
We can use a
55.
linebacker like that right now. We could definitely use one like that right now.
Listen, you can give me John Holacek right now, and I'd be okay with it. Sam Rogers. Someone get me Sam Rogers' number. I don't know, man. It's tough. And I thought that first team offense looked atrocious. I thought that first team looked atrocious the other day, so hopefully they look a lot better than it's going to this third preseason game. But final topic of the night, and then I'm going to ask you who you think needs to have have the best performance in the next preseason game. But obviously last week we didn't get a chance to talk about it. We're going to talk about it this week. Obviously Ezekiel Elliott signed with the Patriots. Dalvin Cook signed with the Jets, just making the AFC East even tougher road, right? Who do you think, and obviously this is your topic, running back, who do you think is going to have more impact? Zeke on the Patriots or Cook on the Jets? And why?
I'm going to say Cook.
Okay.
Because Aaron Rodgers is going to have to get him involved. That's why.
Okay.
I think they can get him involved in the passing game because Aaron Rodgers is a veteran, obviously, one of the best to ever do it. I think he'll be able to get him in the game. I think that's the biggest impact. Zeke could be a power guy. With Mac Jones, I mean, them cold weather games, he could be impactful. But I just think about the impact that Aaron Rodgers has and how Aaron Rodgers will be able to get Cook involved in the passing game. Then with Breece Hall, I think that would be the most impactful.
Yeah. And it's going to be interesting to see what his role is when Breece Hall is back. I mean, they say he's almost full speed now. I almost think he may get lost in the shuffle because a lot of his contract is incentive based, and we know what organizations do sometimes when your contract is incentive based. They some ensure you hit your incentives, and other ones ensure that you do not hit your incentives. So
Absolutely.
Interesting to see. And we already know how they're treating the running back position around the league right now. It is not pretty. So for me, I kind of think though. I think I'm with Cody. I think Zeke's gonna have a bigger impact than people think he's gonna have. I think what happened in Dallas with him is Dallas paid him to continue to be that 1,500 yard back a year.
Yep.
And with that mileage, he's just not there anymore. And I go to your point about them cold weather games. It's not even so much the cold weather games for me. It's the fact that Zeke is still productive back, and this is a guy that we actually talked about possibly joining Buffalo if he was cut in the off. Not for nothing. If I had a choice of Zeke or Latavius Murray, I may take Zeke over Latavius right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay.
Ooh, for what we need this year, I'm going Latavius.
I
He
don't know,
still got
man.
more play. He got more pop in his legs than Zeke.
Yeah. We're gonna see
For
what
what we
Zeke
need
got.
him for.
What we need him for. Yeah, you may be right. But the thing with Zeke is Zeke's paired Ramondre Stevenson. That's two. That's a hefty ass backfield.
Yes, a physical backfield. You got to bring your big boy hat when we play them.
I tell you what, you may win that game, but you're gonna come out of it with some bruises.
You're gonna be sore.
Yeah. Every linebacker, every D lineman, you going in the ice tub following that one. So that's why I think that he may have a little bit more impact. The Dalvin Cook, because I kind of feel like that Dalvin it's a chance he may get lost in that offense because it didn't seem like the Jets really wanted to sign him. He came, he visited, like all right, kind of whatever. And the day they had some money to throw around, so they brought him in. So I don't really know what his role gonna be. It's gonna be interesting. They still have Michael Carter too, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. But moving on, man. Pretty much, it's coming down to the last preseason game. Who do you think needs to show the most? I know we didn't talk about this on air, but I do want to bring this up for receipt purposes. That the Bulls put Shane Ray on IR. And I want you to explain why you feel they put him on IR.
This is my opinion. I could be dead wrong. This is my opinion. I think they maybe put him on IR for next year. I think he,
Okay.
I think he was really pushing and doing well. I think he had a shot to make this roster. I think he was. I said it when they signed him. Now peep this out right here. I'm thinking you take a year. You keep him in the fold. Obviously he's on IR rehab. Get him right. He is Leonard Floyd next year. It's obvious Leonard Floyd not coming back at the same price tag again. He's a 1 year. He's a 1 year guy. He's out of here. He's coming here to win the Super Bowl. We're not re-signing him. Let's be honest here. We're not going to be able to afford that. That's a luxury right now. We won't be able to afford that next year. When you can sign Shane Ray back 1 year, $2.5 million, and he could potentially give you that same thing, that situational pass rusher, which we're going to use Leonard Floyd for. So by stashing him there, he's in the system, he's in the building, he's in the flow. That's an opportunity to be able to bring somebody in as that situational pass rusher. You expect Greg Rousseau to take that step. Von Miller will still be there. You got your two DNs for 2024. Now you got Boogie is still going to be on a rookie contract. You got your speed guy and Shane Ray. So you got 4 guys right there who can play some ball. You draft a guy, bring some young guys in, sign some competition, and then let guys ball off of that last spot if you want to have 5. That's my opinion.
And you got to expect this probably the last year of Shaq Lawson.
Yeah, definitely.
Probably last year of Shaq Lawson. Either he's going to play very, very well, and someone's going to trust him and give him a little bit more money than Buffalo going to give him, or B, it's going to be the end of him here in Buffalo.
Yeah.
So I agree with you there. I think Shane Ray is a stash, and 2, he gets to stay in the NFL. Okay, a lot of players would probably prefer to stay on the practice squad in the NFL than have to go back to the CFL.
How much you want to bet he lives with Von Miller?
I bet I put my money on that.
Yep.
I put money on that. He lives with Von. I put my money on it. So, thank you for explaining that. Like I said, I'm definitely keep the receipt because, like I said, I think sometimes people don't understand that these type of things, stashing players, do happen in businesses. In the business.
Yeah, like come on, he's not missing the whole season for a hamstring. Like, come on, man. We know that.
So, yeah. So, who do you think needs to show and prove the most on this Saturday versus the
Damon Harris?
Yeah, you think he's a risk to get cut?
Absolutely. I think Latavius Murray looks better than what they expected. And if you sign a Ty Johnson, think about this. What does Damon Harris bring to the table that none of those 3 can bring? Because let's be real here, all those that second and third back is going to be spot duty because James Cook looks better in pass pro and looks at running in between the tackles better than I thought he would, me personally. So he's probably going to be your lead dog. Then you got them other guys coming in to be the bruisers. If Damon Harris don't show something, I think he's a cut candidate.
That is a damn. You know what? That's. You know what? That makes a lot of sense. Somebody will tell you, well, Latavius Murray, 33 years old. Well, we've seen them run that rock with Frank Gore, right? Like you said on the phone today, they ran it with Frank Gore, and they also ran that rock with Tolbert. So,
and you think about how you're gonna use them. You talking about a guy to get 5 to 8 carries a game. He's going to get 5 to 8 carries a game, and then Ty Johnson is a physical dude. I mean, if you really think about it here, if he don't come show something, and he want to sit around injured.
Yeah, no, you got a point there. I think I think that if Bernard plays, he's gonna need to show the most.
Mm-hmm.
Tyrell Dodson has all but handed this dude this job. Okay.
When is the game, JT? May I ask?
It's Saturday. I think it's Saturday at 8. I think it's Saturday at 8 p.m. I gotta check the time. If somebody knows the time, let me know if I ain't got it right back. I think it's 8 p.m. Like I said, hold on, I'll look up the schedule really quick. Let me see. Bills Bears. No, I'm sorry. It's 1 p.m. Saturday. 1 p.m. Saturday. Sorry about that.
Okay.
So, thanks, Dame. I appreciate that. But yeah, no, I think that it's gonna be Terrell Bernard if he's playing. If Terrell Bernard goes out there and get 5 tackles, even 3 tackles, he could miss 2. He'll still win this job with Tyrell Dodson. Okay? That's how bad this man has played. So I'd say Bernard has to show a lot. I think AJ Epinesa has to show a lot. As quiet as it kept. Boogie has shown something. You can't keep all those DNs. AJ could be a trade candidate. So I would say AJ Epinesa needs to show a lot. On the offensive side of the ball, not necessarily for roster purposes. I think those guys, Hardy, Shakir, Isabella, they need to show something. Yeah. They need to produce. So I think, that's probably my guys on offense and the defense. But once again, going to this preseason, there was only like 5 to 6 slots open on this roster.
Yeah,
we knew it wasn't much. We'll take a couple. I'll look at a couple of questions here. Dame Wright asked, "Do you think Gabe Davis will get an extension from the Bills?" It's funny. We were just talking about this last night on the phone.
I don't think so. I think they'll offer him one. I don't think he signs back in Buffalo.
I don't think so either. I mean, you look at he's a Rock Sports Nation, whereas the agency. Looking at what the money is getting thrown around for receivers, to me he'd be crazy to not test the market. He can always come back, but he'd be crazy not to test the market because a receiver, sometimes teams will throw a stupid number at you.
We're gonna get that compository pick.
It was a major ask, do you think James Cook is a 3-down back? I think he is.
I'm still up in there. I think he could be. I'm more certain where I hope he can be durable.
I would say this. I think he is. Would I make him a 3-down back? No. I would not make him a 3. I think he can do it. I wouldn't make him a 3-down back though. Because I want to keep as little wear and tear on him as possible because he's such a home run hitter.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got here. Patrick Scanlon. Anyone on the O line? I think if there's anybody on the O line, it's probably I think Osiris Torrance can lock that job up this week. I thought Connor McGovern has played very well. I think Spencer Brown needs to show something, or you may see a Jason Peters. Jason Peters don't need no practice time like that.
That's why he's not signed yet. No need to bring him in the game.
Jason Peters could sign on Wednesday before the Monday night for the Jets game, be starting on Monday and be just fine.
Yep.
So I think Spencer Brown is is somebody who needs to show something, because when you start hearing these rumors, these didn't just drop out the sky. This is not just some random thing that Heavy on Bills has made up. If you guys follow Heavy on Bills, that make up a lot of crap. This is not them. This is floating, and it makes sense. Peter's lived here for a couple years too, so you know your way around the city a little bit. Cody Wells asks, "What is your talk on the O tackle position?" I think we talked about it.
Is the Peters thing, is that something we just talking about, or is that possibly a thing?
I think it's possibly a thing.
Okay.
I think it's possibly a thing. So I think we talked about it earlier. Just pretty much, we just want to see a little bit more from Spencer Brown. Spencer Brown is not that much of a concern if Dion Dawkins is playing at a high level. But if Dion is not playing at the level that we've seen him be capable of, then yeah, it's a big problem, because you have above average on your left side and possibly a low average or below average on your right side, and that's not what you need when you got a $258 million quarterback there. Sean asks, has Dorsey taken a step forward? Sure doesn't look like it. What do you think, James? I mean, we're not going to really see to
I don't think he's bad. Me personally, I don't see what people are saying he is bad. I mean, he took some lumps as a first-year OC. I mean, I don't see what the issue is. I just don't. I think he's pretty damn good. He's gonna get a head coaching job, so he's gonna be a head coach. I mean, hopefully he got better. I mean,
I think
I would say yes. I mean, I just don't understand. I mean, people not saying that, Sean. I'm not saying you're saying that he's bad, but even if he was similar to last year, we still in good hands.
Yeah, we're fine. Well, dang, we got a lot of questions coming out. I like this. I like when you ask questions. It makes it interesting. Dame Wright asks, will Isabella make the final roster? I'm saying yes.
I think he's a lock.
Yeah. Number 6 receiver, right? Number 6.
6 or 7. He's that one that'll be inactive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he makes the roster.
Like I said, very interesting point from that preseason game versus Steelers. He actually was a gunner on a couple punts. That always helps you. James, you tell him about the special teams. So
if you see one of them guys run down special teams, they auditioning for locking in that final spot, one of those final spots.
Yeah. Ray Cruz, defensive play calling suspect. Do you think McDermott's over his head? That's a good question.
I'm gonna say no, because they're not even in the point where they're scheming. There's no play schemes. You're not scheming against other teams. You're just running your stuff. So I mean, we can't judge that off preseason games because they're not scheming each other up. It doesn't turn into chess yet. It's just checkers. It doesn't turn into chess yet.
So when it turns into chess, do you think that it's going to be too much on his plate to be the head coach and defensive play caller? Because have we really seen this? We haven't seen it. We've seen offense. We've seen it on the other side of the ball.
Offense is very common. Defense, not 100% sure. I know Rex Ryan obviously did it.
Yeah, Rex.
I'm not sure.
Here, huh? Yeah, Rex did do it. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting though. I think we've seen a little bit level of aggressiveness from him in the preseason that we haven't seen from this team in years, except when we couldn't get a pass rush. So, a lot of safeties, blitzes, a lot of different things. I don't think he's going to be in over his head. I think he's going to be right where he needs to be. If anything, I think this is going to make him more engaged.
Yep.
So, but hey, man, great show, James. Good as always. We're going to find out the Bills. What happens after the Bills play the Bears on Saturday. Hopefully the first team offense, if they play, look a lot better, and I think McDermott should put them out there again. That performance last week wasn't it. The defense, cross your fingers, no injuries. Hopefully we can actually see Terrell Bernard play a couple snaps. If it was me and I'm the Bills, I'm probably playing Terrell Bernard if he's healthy with the first unit, and I'm probably playing Dorian Williams with the second unit. Terrell Dodson, I'd give him his playing to you right now if you wanted to. It doesn't matter to me. First class too. But other than that, man, you got anything final that you want to see
Nope.
Saturday?
Yeah, I just want to see these guys compete. When everybody's come out healthy, I'm not really big on playing the starters this last game If so, maybe 1 or 2 series and get them out of there. When everybody come out healthy and get ready to roll come Monday night, that's September 11th. Yeah.
Yeah, I like to see 2 series from the offense. I just want to see execution. That's all. So, man, other than that, man, great show. We should be back. We should be back next Tuesday. Most likely, we should be back. We didn't do our roster 53. We got to figure out when to release that. But other than that, everybody, thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, JTM. Got my co-host in the building, former NFL running back James Mallory. Remember, this is nothing personal, just Buffalo. Our Instagram tags, if you would like to follow us, are right there on the screen, as you can see. And like, subscribe, share, and don't forget, this was brought to you by Checkers. And we will catch you guys next time. Peace.